vortex, I feel like I'm in a sci-fi movie. Do y'all feel that way? I'm sure you do. There's all this new technology that keeps cropping up, and every time that it does, I ask myself the question, was this always here? Did I just never notice it before, and now all of a sudden I can't stop noticing it? Am I like totally oblivious to the world that I live in? I don't think that I am. I think that this stuff just suddenly appeared, and there wasn't any construction or, people on the road putting it up. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that all these new things are just here. And I had said this before, like a couple years ago, actually. I had mentioned that there was like all these towers and poles and thingies on the poles, and it just disturbs me that like everybody else just doesn't care, doesn't notice, or just thinks, oh well, they're just doing the regular ass upgrade. We're just trying to kill you in ways that are blatantly obvious, but everybody will keep denying it. Yeah. But I noticed stuff. I noticed stuff that I'm convinced other people do not notice at all. And so I can totally understand why schizophrenia is stigmatized, because if you notice things that the general public doesn't notice, it's easier for the general public to say, oh, they just hallucinate all the time, rather than take a look around and reevaluate the world that they live in. They'd rather just go along to get along, like the typical pieces of shit that everybody is, okay? And they don't want to even call into question like the stuff that happens every day in our world, and that's just so frustrating to live in a world like that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't want to live in this world, and it's just really, really, really depressing that people are just fine with like everything being terrible as long as they have something to keep them mindlessly entertained that can help them forget that pedophiles exist and really bad people run the world. Like, I don't know, I'm just not easily distracted. I've never been easily distracted. Like, all the stuff that I do that I guess other people would use as a distraction, like drugs, okay? I don't get high, I get level. Because I already feel like I am high. Because the way that I look at things is pretty out there. So, like, if you look into what it means to be high on cannabis, and then you look into what it means to be schizophrenic, it's literally exactly the same. And so I find it interesting that many people that smoke cannabis, they're essentially signing up for schizophrenia, they just don't know it. And, obviously there's something appealing about schizophrenia, otherwise people wouldn't enjoy cannabis, But yeah, if you question authority or you don't follow the social norms, people will just naturally assume that you're insane. Because, most people want to be normal. Most people want to be like a cookie cutter, boring ass person that watches TV, votes, and drives a fucking minivan. Okay, most people, that's what they strive for whatever fucking reason. And yeah, I guess like I've always been kind of disgusted by that. I've always been disgusted by the state of our society. And that's been like a running theme of my life. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, by the way. Hold on a second. See these things? You know what I'm talking about? Hold on, we're gonna switch lanes. Those things right there. Look at that. What the fuck is that? That's new. I know that shit is new. Now that tower has been there for a while. I'm talking about, like, those lights have been there, but your average piece of shit isn't gonna notice any of that. Because your average piece of shit is always on their phone. Okay? So, say you have a passenger in the vehicle. Now, back in the day, whenever you were in this seat where my keyboard is, okay, you would look outside the window. But no, people don't do that anymore because they have a phone to stare at. And yes, I have every right to be bitter about that shit. Okay? Every right to be angry and hostile towards this world because they want to complain about how bad the world is, but they don't notice why it's bad. And they don't think that the industries and technology have anything to do with our world being what it is. Okay? Those things were definitely there. Yeah. I'm talking about certain polls. Like, what are those for? It's probably got something to do with the 5G. I don't know. You can obsess about it, but there's really no point. No, but I swear, those were not here before. I'm gonna watch some videos that I have done in this car, driving down the interstate, and I'm gonna pay attention to the surroundings. I feel like those were there though, Amy. Yeah, maybe you're right though. Maybe they weren't. But yeah, it's so easy to dupe the public because the public is so stupid, you know? They are so fucking stupid on so many levels, dude. And if you think I'm really fucking mean, you try working in the restaurant industry for 15 years. Like I've said before, I have a front row seat to bad decisions that Americans make every fucking day, okay? So yeah, that's why I don't have hope for society. That's why I don't think it's wise to have children, you know? It's just, there are too many ways to be corrupted in this world, you know? I actually just read something about how Amish children don't have cancer or autism or any of these other disorders and diseases that have plagued Americans. Yeah, maybe because Amish people aren't stupid, you know? Maybe they're the wisest people in this whole fucking country that decided not to choose the world. And everybody thinks they're crazy for that, but all the people that chose the world have so many problems it's not even funny. And I'm a comedian and it's still not funny.